Mr. Chair, that's my last question, but I want to wish you the very best. God bless you.
Thank you. So, Mr. Chairman, it wasn't easy for 2.5 years. I was back and forth, from court. It wasn't easy at all. It's something I wouldn't wish it on anybody. But since it's been closed, the case is closed in court, I don't think I want to go into detail on that. But what I can say is that it was not easy for me, and I thank God that at the end of it all, I was able to sail through successfully. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Jerry Ahmed Shaib, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I want to first of all congratulate the nominee and also wish her well. Chair, I have a few questions. The first one is on the very high clearing cost and port congestion. I think they move or work hand in hand. The fact that the clearing costs at the ports are high, people are unable to clear their goods. And this is a major problem for the Ghanaian people. As you go in as Deputy Minister, do you have any ideas, any plans you intend to share with your minister so that we take care of this high clearing cost and congestion? Congestion to the extent that some containers cannot even be found. We saw the Minister of Energy come to make such a... So can you please come up with some suggestions as to how to, as it were, reduce the high clearing cost and consequently high congestion at the ports?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I'm aware of the high cost that Honorable Leader is talking about, but it's a concern to His Excellency the President. He wants businesses to thrive, and so it's something that he's working on it with my sector minister. And so when I'm approved, I will, with his directive, we'll put our heads together and take directives from His Excellency the President and see how best we can resolve the congestion and the high taxation that you're talking about. Thank you.
Any further question?
Yes, follow up on that one. So with this, it's come to our notice that some vehicles that are of a certain year, maybe 10 years, and so we are in 2025, so a vehicle that is about 2014 or 2012, there are some extra charges or penalties, and that amounts to some high cost. So some of these cars are still kept there. Would you, as a nominee, make a proposal that, or suggest to your minister that, and perhaps to the President, that we should perhaps let these penalties be waived so that people still can clear their vehicles?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I will do that, but it will be at the discretion of my sector minister and His Excellency the President. But definitely, I'll make those suggestions and see how best we can work together on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, my second question, I know the nominee to have traveled wide. I'm sure one of the places she may have gone to, which most of the people on the table may have been, is the UK, and the use of train. And therefore, I'm talking about railway. Do you have any other plans? Do you have any plans in getting Ghana enforce the use of railways? First of all, make sure we have railways all over the place, especially from Jomoro to Accra or Tema, especially for goods. You want to cut goods from Jomoro to Accra. Would you suggest to your minister and the President how we can perhaps put this out there and get railway functioning?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, I will do that. I think my suggestion, one of the things that when I'm giving the nod, I will work with my sector minister to look into is to open it up for private investment or investors to come on board to see how we can revamp the sector to make it viable to help us as a country. Thank you.
Would you recommend a railway line from Jomoro to Tema?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I will. Because, I mean, it would help. Yes. Yes. Yes, I will.
Mr. Chair, when the nominee was being sworn in, I could feel a very different accent. And in the subject matter. And
so
all,
you want to ask a question?
And the bank.
Yeah,
yes, I'm asking a question, Chair. I want to be convinced that the nominee is a full-time Ghanaian and therefore can recite the national pledge.
Well, the question is, he wants to ascertain whether you can recite the national pledge. No, the question is, can you or you cannot?
I can, but if you can waive the question for me, I can.
Very well. Your question has been answered.
Mr. Chair, I'll let it pass.
Thank you very much. I will give the floor to Honorable Haji Aladi Ayamba.
Thank you very much. Jerry, stop it. My dear sister, congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, they've been expecting that I'll tell you that congratulations and bye-bye. But I won't do that. You know why? Because, Chairman, let me restate this. They believe that we cannot speak the English language. That is why we go that way. They do not know that we do it on purpose. I've looked at your CV. I've listened to you. And I appreciate you, how far you have come. I know you will do and put up your best. Your responses sends a message. You have simply told me that you are just there because all your responses are that with the minister. You know where you are, you know where you are going to, and you know how you are going to do it. So I only wish you the best. The question I want to ask you is that you mentioned in your response to one of the first persons that asked you about how trucks carrying heavy loads do spoil our roads and what have you. And it's quite bad because I'm on the Roads and Transport Committee and I know that just 1 kilometer of asphalted road is more than $1 million, which is too much. Will you suggest to your minister that you work hand in hand with the Minister for Roads to ensure that trucks do not load more than necessary, and that you will take the trouble to be part and parcel of getting first-hand information, not sitting and being an armchair deputy minister? Will you do that? I want a short answer, no long stories.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, I will do that. Thank you.
Great. You spoke about how you supported 4,000 women. So I don't doubt your support for women. You've also mentioned that the transport sector is a sector where most women are left out. It's not because they can't. You know, we women, wherever we put ourselves, yes, we can, and we will do it, and do it better than the men. I know your minister very well. Will you support him to ensure that there are more women, especially driving our public buses, which would be in your domain? I've seen a few but I want more. And will you ensure and support him that for every sector where there is transportation or transportation works, any organization, that you would have the 30% women being recruited if the opportunity arises? So it's 2 in 1. One is a yes, and then the other one, you can say whatever you want to say.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, the first answer to the first question is yes. And the other one is I will definitely do that, to work hand in hand with my minister when I'm giving the nod, to make sure that every area that we can push to bring women there, I will do so. Like I said earlier in my introduction, I said I'm very passionate about women empowerment. So that is an area that I'm known for. Even in my constituency, when it comes to area of women and children and people with disability, I do not play with that. And so I will work hand in hand with my minister to make sure that we give the space to the women, and not just at the bottom, but at the decision level. Thank you.
Chairman, she is an MP worth it. She has gone through a lot. She has struggled, but she has always made herself visible, and she's always been there. We are members of parliament. Women, for now, I think we are 41 or so, either 40 or 41. I don't want to tell, and then, so we are 41. And if you are to make projections, give education, support women, especially in that sector, you have not less than 41 women whom you can easily discuss and bring to the fore so that they will support you to achieve your aim in getting more women. Will you come back to Parliament and ensure that you work with the Women Caucus, notwithstanding who is coming from where? Because I know that your place, you do not know that I've been to Shama before. I've been to Shama, I came and worked there when your Honorable Asirifi was there, so I know that place. So, will you come back and ensure that you work with us so that we will help in projecting the sector in our various places? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, I will. Thank you.
So, very fast, very quick. I wish you the best. You can always count on me and count on the rest. And don't hesitate. We will support you and ensure that women are realized. And I will thank the president very, very much. The last 4 appointments he made, 3 women, 1 man. I'm the happiest. I ate TZ that day like it was no one's business. So take care of yourself and work harder.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. I'll proceed to give the floor to Honorable Patricia Piaget, Deputy Ranking Member.
Right. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate our sister on the other side for being given such a huge responsibility. The responsibility, as we see it, is something, the number of issues and challenges within your sector, which we as a nation needs to address. So I would first like to find out from you whether you know that there's a Road Traffic Act in existence, and whether that act, the original one, and whether that act has been amended, and what it seeks to address. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think I didn't get the question very well. If Honorable Patricia can repeat the act.
I'll give you a brief about that. And I know that the Road Traffic Act was enacted. The earlier one is Act 683, and the subsequent one, the amended one, is the Act 761. The reason why I'm asking you this is that it has been amended because of the challenges within our transport system. Because if in order to ensure that movement is smooth, people have accessibility, need sustainable roads to ride on. These things have been taken care of. As a deputy minister, you always come to Parliament and you hear that when questions are being put to ministers, ministers don't normally find the time to attend to the floor of Parliament because currently most of them don't even have deputies. Once you are going to be the deputy, I suspect you will be the face of Parliament and your ministry or your sector. So I'm looking at the situation where we have enacted laws for movement of transport and all that. And all these enactments, all these laws are being flouted. When people flout the laws, no penal, how are you going to ensure that we have a transport committee in Parliament? And therefore, there's the need to review these acts to give implementation of this thing to it. So how are you going to ensure that you will recommend to your minister to ensure that we review these ones to make it a bit biting? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Yes, when I'm giving the nod, I would check with my minister and sit with him and see how best and suggest some, or make some recommendations and take it before the committee to see how best we can make that work. But currently, I think it's been reviewed. It's under, it's been reviewed. So I would liaise with my minister and see how best we can make changes to make things better. Thank you.
Honorable, the revised national transport policy emphasizes accessibility. It also emphasizes inclusivity and sustainability. And this, all these emphasis is aiming to create a transport system that serves all Ghanaians regardless of age, ability, or socio-economic status. However, many transport systems, such as Trotro, are not designed with persons to accommodate persons with disability. And you know our rural areas too, it lacks some connectivity. How would you assist your minister to ensure that transport policies prioritize inclusivity and sustainability, particularly for the marginalized groups and rural communities? Thank you, my sister.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, when I'm giving the nod, I would, together with my minister, sit and see how best we can look into the challenges that you have mentioned and see how best we can make it work for everybody, so nobody will be left behind. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Earlier on, a question was asked of you, whether, what recommendation would you make to your minister on the issue of electric vehicles? And you know the challenges that we have at the moment. Are you sure The first question is, are you sure we have enough EVs or charging system? If we don't have enough, do you think it should discourage Ghana to reintroduce them and ensure the use of electric transport system? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, with the briefing I had with my minister, I was told that 10 buses are currently in Ghana. Of course, 100 were ordered, 10 were delivered, 4 of them are working. The other 6 has problems with the charging system, but he has resolved that and also made contact with the company that initially started. So they are making it better where it will be able to accommodate that. So changes have taken place. And so I will work once again with my minister to make sure that, because it's a good thing, like I said earlier, it's environmentally friendly and also cheaper. And so once we're able to sensitize the public and let them know the benefits and all that, I think it would work. So we'll find good companies that will be able to give us the best. So I'll work with my minister to see how best we can do that so that we can be part of the global world, because that is what everybody is transitioning into, and Ghana should be part of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nominee. You've answered excellently on this. So my next question I want to put to you is that what kind of transport mix would you recommend? Currently, look at our railway system. Do you think improving on our railway system and then looking at even the tram system, which will also require electrification, will be something that you will recommend in future for implementation in looking at our transport mix at this point in time? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, that is something that I'll consider and look at it together with my minister when I'm giving the nod to see how best we can revamp that sector, because it would benefit the country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think your exposure to living in other parts of this world encourages you to have such a bright future for the transport system in our country, and I'm going to pray for you that you work at it and ensure that you will have a very wide transport mix and mobility will not be a challenge as we are facing now in the country. Thank you very much, and I think that's all that I have for you. Thank you, congratulations.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. And Honorable Patricia is a mentor to me. She inspires me a lot. Of course, all the women, ever since I came to Parliament, I've been learning from her. She encourages most of us, and she's part of the reason why, in Parliament, I'm able to do most of the things that I do. And so I want to take this opportunity to thank her as well for being a mentor.
Thank you very much. I will give the floor to Honorable Ricket Kweku-Hagan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Nominee, my sister, congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I have no doubt in your ability, your competence, your resilience of what you've been through to do this job. Transport is a huge place. But then you have a very able minister who is also a member of this House. So I know you will be in good hands. Your job basically is to follow what your minister, who makes the policy, will ask you to do. And then be able to offer advice if he asks for one. But I know that you do a good job. I mean, the questions that have been asked here and the answers you've given, I have no doubt that you do well. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you very much.
Can I continue?
Yes.
You want me to continue?
Well, you have exhausted your time. I do not know what instruction the leader has given.
For leader, he said this.
You want to ask a question for?
I cannot ask him, but he said he's coming.
But the difficulty is how we can be waiting. Yes. Well, we are done. I will use the opportunity to congratulate you and thank you very much for attending upon the committee and responding to questions. We would acknowledge the presence of your revered guests, and thereafter you are discharged. You hear from the committee.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'm most grateful.
Thank you very much, Chair. I will acknowledge the guests who accompanied Honorable Dorcas here this morning to support her. Nana Adai Blade III, MPM Chief, Nana Twenobua the First, Amokwam Swazu Chief, Nana Ya Jindo the Third, Ghana Nungwa Queen Mother, Obahima Evia Panyere, Kabin La Swaze Queen Mother, Tufuhini Eric Isya, Bonyere Tufuhini, Francine Nyakun Kofi, daughter, Lionel Kofi, daughter, Emmanuel Ajiman Tofi, son, Charles Ni Ama Jr., son, Mr. Kofi Asma, family friend, General Augustine Blay, Council of Elder for Jomoro constituency, Uncle Pepe Mana Yera, family friend, Nana Acha, brother-in-law, Mrs. Efia Acha, sister, and Pastor Stephen Bedu, family pastor, Abubakar Amadou, MP's personal assistant, Dr. Francis Hoba, MP's manager, John Kessie, Nyameke constituency PA, Anthony Ama Bentley constituency chairman, Honorable Benedict Bwedi MCE, Emmanuel Ndaku Bentley constituency secretary, Agnes Nria constituency woman organizer, Nana Toku NDC Western Region chairman, and last but not the least, Charles Edu Fojo, NDC Western Regional Organizer. Thank you very much, and thank you for coming.
Very well. All regional chairmen, you are duly acknowledged.
I'm reading from you.
Thank you very much for coming. Honorable nominee, you are hereby discharged. Our second nominee should be in readiness to take the chair.
Driver, don't have back when that's the open.
Audio Jungle. 듣기만 하라고 하셔서 진짜 듣기만 다녔어요.
들리기 시작했어요.
들리는 거예요.
윤석열 전 대통령 파면 결정이 내려진 지 일주일이 지났습니다. 여러분의 일상은 많이 회복이 되셨습니까? 특별히 이분의 일상은 어떤지 궁금한데요. 그 주인공은 바로 홍장원 전 국정원 1차장입니다. 스튜디오로 모셨는데요. 이야기 나눠보겠습니다. 어서 오세요.
이렇게 초대해 주셔서 감사합니다.
네, 지금 차장님과 인터뷰는 사전에 녹화로 진행이 된다는 점을 좀 먼저 말씀을 드리면서 시작하겠습니다. 귀한 걸음을 해주셔서 감사드리고요. 여러 곳에서 인터뷰를
Chairman, shall we rise to observe 1 minute? May his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. Amen. Amen. Thank you, Chairman. I will proceed to respond to your question about myself. Obviously, my name is James Jachikwason, Member of Parliament from Asin North, a second-term member now. I was born in Asin Fosu. My hometown is Asin Breku. I have additional 7 siblings, 4 brothers, including myself, and 4 sisters. My big sister, the eldest of the family, sitting right behind me, attended preparatory school at Penwet Preparatory School that was located in Accra. After that, went to Fantipim Secondary School. When I completed Fantipim Secondary School, I did 3 years at Winneba Teachers College. Thereafter, I went to Canada in 1979. I pursued college education in Canada. First, I took up to nuclear engineering for a 3-year program. After graduation, I taught as a lab assistant, teaching supply. From there, I went to went to York University for my bachelor's in sociology and political science, and a master's in urban and community development. I came back, worked with the Canadian government at the municipal level for 29 years. At the last position was I was a district manager for area offices of 5. Finally decided I want to come home and help my community as in North, and also to join hands with my people here to develop the country Ghana, and of course Africa. I'm a strong Pan-Africanist, and I've always been championing this even in Canada as well as in Ghana. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. We shall proceed with vetting by asking you questions, and we humbly urge upon you to provide answers to the questions posed to you. Starting from the subject matter committee members, I will proceed to give the floor to Nana Addo Kenneth. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to, first of all, congratulate the nominee for this appointment.
He doesn't want
to wish him well. I would first want to find out from him how he's going to help his minister, since the minister has talked about economic diplomacy. How is he going to help him? Minister promote Ghana's economic interests abroad and attract foreign investments for the country?
Thank you, Chairman. It's a very important question. Ghana, as we all know, has been champion of Black Africa, the Black Star. And that is one of my fundamental beliefs. I know I'm moving into a sector that has a minister, and the Minister Blackwell and I have a very good relationship dating back from 2021, and I'm very sure that we will be able to forge together a good understanding and working relation in line with the policy of the various departments under our ministry. Thank you.
Any further question?
Yes. You did indicate that you are Pan-Africanist. Would you share with this nation how that passion would drive you to help build a borderless Africa?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This has always been my dream, that one day this continent will unite its people, because we all know united stronger than individual small nations. And the fundamental basis of our foreign affairs policy is dated back from when we had independence, when Kwame Nkrumah, our first president, Dr. Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah, indicated that the independence of Ghana was meaningless unless it's linked up to the total liberation of the continent. I still believe strongly in that principle. And I think with that, we can be able to put together our resources, be a mighty force for global trade and relationship. Thank you.
Any further question?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The last one that I want to find out from the nominee is that looking at the current challenges within the sub-region, how are you going to support your minister to engage ECOWAS?
Regions are all brothers and sisters. This is something that has been played upon us by the colonialists. Ghana, Burkina Faso, Niger, Cote d'Ivoire, Mali, we are no different from one another. And I'm very sure that Ghana has always remained a non-aligned. We have always, from independent time, been a non-aligned movement, which Nkrumah had been very much strengthened and forward with India when they forged this non-aligned movement. Let's extend that to our brothers and sisters. There may be differences in the household in their various countries, but that shouldn't set us apart. We should continue with diplomacy, speak to them. There's always a reason why there's some conflict somehow happening. And we should also be able to identify the people behind these conflicts, where the weapons are coming from, and how we can improve the quality of life of our people. Our youth needs help, and this applies to almost every corner of Africa. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll give the floor to Honorable Safaji.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Nominee, I would like to once again congratulate you. Mr. Chairman, I want to premise my question on a release from the ministry, allegations on issuance of Ghanaian passport to foreigners. Deputy Minister nominee, there are a lot of weaknesses within our embassies. Delay of passports, extortion, poor working condition, passport frauds. All these are weaknesses within our embassies. As a Deputy Minister nominee, how are you going to work with your minister to ensure that some of these weaknesses within the embassies will be dealt with? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I'm very happy that Honorable Member is asking this question, because it's in the minds of many people. There's a policy in place I just had my briefing at the ministry a couple days ago. There's policies in place, and I'm sure some has been demonstrated by introducing this new passports with a chip embedded, which is not easy to forge. You need a primary identification in order to be able to process one of those. So I'll work along with my sector minister, and then we can be on the same page to work to make things much better for, again, we have to enforce we have to do some enforcement to make sure. See, all these rules and regulations are in place, but if we don't apply enforcement, we're not going to get anywhere. So that is one area that I'm going to add my strength to the ministry to make sure that we don't take enforcement for granted. Thank you.
Yes. Any further questions?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The nominee, your experience, having lived in Canada for so many years. I mean, Canada, US have a lot of things in common. And quite recently, Ghana is having a bit of challenge between the diplomatic relations between Ghana and US, which has even resulted in some 3 months visa and then single entry and all that. This requires a deep, high-level diplomatic engagement. Having known you, your experience traveling afar and all this on, how do you blend your experience to support your minister to deal with some of these challenges that we are having with our US-Ghana relations?
Thank you, Chairman. I believe most of these bilateral relationships, Ghana and the US had a common understanding of a 5-year visa, that if an American citizen was coming here, he would get 5-year duration of a visa and vice versa. Unfortunately, as we all know, there's been some nationalistic administration with Trump's presidency, which is affecting a lot of issues. And I personally believe that with some diplomacy, because this has not been anything official presented to the government of Ghana as yet. So we are just going to have to apply and intensify our diplomacy to make sure that we're able to reciprocate this. And of course, if things are not working in our favor, we also have other tools we can work with. So I want to assure you that I will be working closely with Minister Brakwa with my experience and exposure to make sure some of these things are addressed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I once again want to congratulate you and also admonish that, I mean, your composure and your temperament would be a good blend to your minister, so that at least the ministry will have some very cool atmosphere around the ministry. I would want to congratulate you once again and wish you well. The committee would also be willing and ready to help you perform. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman, and I want to thank my colleague here. Thank you.
Give the floor to Honorable Seidu.
Yes, Vice Chairman, Foreign Affairs Committee. My senior brother, Uncle Kwesi, congratulations. I would not ask you a question, except I won't ask you a question, except to commend you for your determination and tenacity to hold the fort since you veered into the political arena of Mother Ghana. I know you've gone through a Herculean task in this career. I have been very close to you and I've interacted with you. I know you are going into the ministry to support your boss to deliver the mandate of Ghana's foreign policy. And I have no doubt that if you get the blessings of this committee, you will deliver. You give that support to the Honorable Ablakwa. The two of you, I know you can gel very well. So for me, it's just to say that God will give you the energy, the resilience to support your boss to deliver on Ghana's foreign mission policy. And that is all that I want to tell you. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you, Chairman.
Honorable
Thanks for your comment.
I will then give the floor to Honorable Vanderboy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Let me also thanking His Excellency for nominating you, and you and I have worked together in many ways and in many activities, so I know what you can do. I demand on our national agenda in that ministry. One question. I want you to take the opportunity to assure this committee of your readiness and your ministry. Support to the minister to ensure that he delivers the agenda of moving Ghana's image to the highest level. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, my good friend. I recognize that as well, and I want to thank the President, Mahama, for his nomination of myself. I recognize that this is as well, and I want to thank the that is a pivotal to the country's for his nomination of myself. I know that this is a ministry that is a pivotal to the country's development. So with my experience and exposure, again, we are going to line up a lot of stakeholders, I can assure you, at least in Canada and US, to bring in resources, technology, IT, as much as we can to improve our economy so that our youth can get some gainful employment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Aliklim Akurugu, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Congratulations, Uncle, as I affectionately call you when I meet you in the chamber. You are going to work with a minister who is old enough to be your son. How are you going to cope with him? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. I know Africa has a very extreme culture where children listen to their parents. So I'm hoping, and I'm sure and I'm certain that Minister Ablakwa and I, as I said earlier, have a relationship that dates back since 2021. And we are going to continue with our relationship and make sure, because you see, when he succeeds, I succeed. So we're going to succeed together. Thank you.
Any further question?
Thank you. Yes, please. I'm told, or I've heard, that other countries, including Nigeria, our neighboring country, anytime they apply for visas in foreign embassies and they are not accepted, the monies are refunded. How is Ghana going to adopt this as well? Thank you.
Yes, I think this is administrative policy, again, sector policy that we have to look into, because I personally believe that most of these so-called advanced countries and milking our people. On an average, most African youth, because of lack of opportunities, want to travel outside. A visa is not cheap. Even just the application form alone is about $160, which could be a month. Are collecting this money and denying almost 90% to 95% of them. We have of these countries are using that as a revenue to support their embassies. And if we don't know that, we think that, oh, they're rich countries, so they're able to afford to set up embassies. That's not the case. Most of the revenues are coming to make sure any policy that we put together will be something that can be of interest, because you see, foreign policy is not about protecting the foreign or the foreign nations only. First and foremost, it should be protecting us. It should be reciprocated. Our domestic policy is what we extend to the foreign policy. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, no further questions. I'm wishing you all the best, Uncle.
Thank you very much. It's now the turn of Honorable Omar. You have the floor.
Old soldier, congratulations. I'm so happy for you today, and ever since your nomination was announced, haven't stood your grounds and also a trailblazer for the Bintus. And to this position, you become ambassador, you become a trailblazer, and you will become the conduit for others in the diaspora to come back home and serve their nation, having acquired a lot of knowledge and experience that this country needs. My question to you today, and we're going to have some discussion. Will you consider, I know you are not the main minister, to outsource your visa processing to third party so that we won't have a lot of backlog, particularly in the diaspora? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If I want to understand my colleague clearly, it's about visa applications for Ghanaians in the diaspora coming back home. Thank you. You see, that is why I think about 3 years ago, we tabled not the visa applications, but we did table, if I recall, refresh my memory, that dual citizenship amendment bill. This is something that we have to take very important as a nation, because we look at our GDP and remittances from the diaspora alone. Those are the three leading income, GDP for the nation. And to just look at that, the experience, and add it to what we already have home, we'll be doing ourselves disservice. A lot of nations have recognized that. Even the UK does that. But here we are, and I'm sure all of you are testimony to what I went through. Just to be part of the system, to try to.
And I want to thank every one of you here. I know there was tremendous support from the House, even my brothers and sisters on the other side, who will reach out to me personally to encourage me.
And sisters on the other side,
even though it wasn't a party policy, they came out in their own humane sense to come and give me encouragement. And these are some of the people that kept me going. And the more reason why I asked for us to bow or stand at least for a moment for our brother who has left us. You see, nobody should be going through such things. So I'll kindly come back to the House. One of these days we have the Professor Asari, popularly known as Kweku Azar, who championed this dual amendment, citizenship dual amendment, and that we can all make sure that our children, our grandchildren can come back and bring the expertise and the income and the resources. And I personally know a lot of my counterparts who are heavily invested, but just afraid to leave everything and come, because if they come, they've lost their investments. If they know they can have both ways, they'll bring this investment. Not everyone is coming for politics. There are investors out there, there are scientists, there are IT experts, professors, and all of them. So, answer to your question is, my brother, I'll work tirelessly along with my minister to see how best, and also with the House, to see how we can pass this dual amendment bill. That will eradicate the challenges they have. But in the meantime, before that goes into effect, I work with Minister Blackwell to make sure that we can facilitate a quick process for them to get a visa if they intend to come to their homeland. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to policy. Foreign policy. Are we still non-aligned?
Well, Ghana has always been aligned. From foundation, from our independence day, thanks to our great visionary, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah Sajifo. When we got independence, he was championing an aligned movement. You see, what it puts a country in a line, you are more stable, because policies and systems and ideologies keep changing. With population growth and challenges in managing communities all the same. So to be non-aligned is the best, I think, and so Ghana answer is we're still non-aligned, for what I know. But also I will work with Minister Blackwell to make sure that that is the direction of the government that we are. Of course, I cannot part from government policies, but if there's a need for me to advocate, I will do so. Thank you.
Comrade and old soldier, I wish you the best. Congratulations.
Thank you, my brother. Chairman.
Yes, Honorable Patrick Yao.
Thank you very much, Chair. Congratulations, my very, very, very good friend and senior brother. We're all proud of you. It's not a question, but to bring your mind to some of the issues that our foreign service officers go through. I advise that you take a very close look at that. There's an issue in one of the neighboring countries, I don't want to mention it, very, very sensitive before us, that I'll be discussing with you. You need to support your minister, look at the affairs of our foreign service officers. They go through a lot. Some of them life-threatening, and we must look at it. Secondly, if I heard you right, I stand to be corrected. Are you, in a way, saying that we should make things flexible for nationals, African Americans, and non-Ghanaians to acquire citizenship of Ghana and to bring into this country the investment that we require. I just want to be clear on that before I ask my question.
Thank you, Chairman. When I made that comment or statement, I was referring at this point in time strictly to our Ghanaian nationals who are outside, not non-Ghanaian nationals. Thank you.
Very well. That's very clear because I chair the subsidiary legislation committee, and before us are some proposals to increase the fees for non-Ghanaians, African Americans who want to acquire Ghanaian citizenship. And it's increased. The proposal is between $10,000 to $25,000. And you must also show proof that you are coming into the country to invest no less than $250,000. So those are some of the things that we'll be considering on Monday at the committee. That's why I asked you, but it has nothing to do with you. But I wish you well. You are one of my very good friends in the House, and you've exhibited tenacity and courage, and we're all behind you to support my good friend and Okujo Ablakwa.
Thank you very much, Honorable Patrick Obama. I will give the floor to Honorable Haji Aladi.
Thank you, Chairman. My brother, congratulations.
Thank you, my sister.
Your appointment is well deserved. What I recall about you is when we were at Asin North and then the rain was pouring down so heavily. You were drenched in your T-shirt and we were also struggling and trying not to slip and fall. We said, God, just help us. And he did. You are a fighter, you fought. I think I had the courage, but I don't have your type of courage. But I know where it is coming from. Continue to have that courage. You are going to be the Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs, and the one you are going to deputize is someone who is so open, very open. He says it as it is. And I also saw that in you, even before you won the Asin North supposed by-election that we came for. So I know you are going to be able to work. What will you do specifically to support your minister? I just want one thing. I don't want more than two. Just one. One thing you will do to support your minister, because you have seen it all, to ensure that our people who are being deported, especially in the deported by our own persons there, especially the embassies, so that they come back home safely and that they are properly communicated to understand that, look, after all, if you travel to another man's land and it's not good, you go back to your own land. What will you do specifically to support him?
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, my sister. It's a very brilliant question. This is something that it just doesn't take diplomacy alone. Sometimes you need to understand the dynamics of how this cultures that we are alien to, how it works. And I know I have an inside knowledge and strength that I can support it to Minister Ablakwa to make sure that we put certain institutions in place. Sometimes it's not just the embassy alone we need. We need a support system attached to these embassies so that some of our nationals who are out there can go there for support. You see, most of these embassies are closed after certain hours. You have individuals who are out there sometimes can't even stay in their own homes because they're afraid they'll be arrested and deported. Nobody wants to travel and just be taken by surprise to be brought home unprepared. Some of them don't even own a bank account for that matter because they're afraid that where's the identification to open a bank account? You're working under the table, they call it there, which means it's not documented employment. And then you keep all your money with you, or hopefully you get somebody you can trust to hold it for you, whatever the person decides to change their mind on you. So there's a lot of work we need to do in such areas, especially the major hotspots like New York, Toronto, UK, like London, and all those areas we need to put. And I'll be working with Minister Blackwell to enlighten some of these challenges that some of our people are going through down in those major communities and cities and countries. So my sister, be rest assured that I think the President, in his wisdom, made a good choice adding me to this sector so that we can make it grow and make Ghana a better place. If we improve our country here, most of those youth out there would not even find their way out. They would rather come home and work for us. Thank you.
My second question, Chairman, to the nominee is, if you observe the issue of those who actually travel and go and get either even some of them killed in these Saharan places, some in the sea, some don't even go anywhere, they are killed. Mostly they are youth. A few times I have watched some documentaries, they are boys, very strong ones. Except maybe one or two at a time you may see a girl. Most of them are our energetic youth. Will you ensure that you lace hand in hand with the support and agreement of your minister to talk to our embassies across, not even to the Western world, our own African continent, the countries that they cross, so that these people are given the opportunity where you will meet them, talk with them, and encourage them to rather go back, instead of allow them, because they are afraid, they try to hide, and eventually they get trapped and killed. Will you get them so that you could talk, come together, and you, with your experience, you would help in ensuring that they are given that communication to come back rather than pursue what they are doing? Because even recently, we've heard of people being taken to nowhere but just Abidjan. What are the things that you, will you do that to make sure that you support us to get our youth to stay back? Just a yes or no answer, will you do that?
Thank you, Chairman. I will offer yes or no answer. I think what I will add to is that we should beef up our communication here in the country as well. We will liaison with the Ministry of Communication to feature some of these things so that the youth would understand. Because you see, when you're desperate, anybody can lure you into something that you heard about a QNet and all that. They take them out there. They find a way to extort the little money they have, and then they leave them stranded. So yes, we would have to collaborate with the various embassies to make sure. And what I'm saying about communication is also because if we don't step up the communication, most of these youth even end up there and they avoid authorities. So how are you even going to encounter them sometimes? Except when they are in a very extreme hardship before they will seek. But then we should be able to have some counselors attached to our various embassies who can counsel this youth, whilst at the same time we're also stepping up our communications in the country. If we can engage with the media houses to let them explain such challenges that some of these youth will go through. And you are right, my sister. I read about these things in the Sahel Desert. there was some family that came to Canada. It was very bitter winter. By the time they crossed the snow, it was winter time. A couple of them, their legs had to be amputated. How would you travel to just go lose your, physical being? So we will work along those lines with Minister, and then I'm hoping that the youth will understand better now. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Last but not the least question, the issue of passports. The acquiring of passports by most Ghanaians is still a difficult one. I'm not talking of cost. I'm talking of process. Today, because we all talk digitalization, we tend to forget that some of us are BBC, born before computers. And most of our people in our communities are people who even do not know how to go onto the computer, let alone to apply for a passport. But we have that problem. And that notwithstanding, the whole of the Upper East will have to travel to Tamale before you get a passport. What will you do to ensure that there is decentralization of passport offices?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I think my sister has hit the nail on the head. Thankfully, I was at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs 2 days in a row to get some briefings, and I was informed that they are opening passport application centers. Almost the mandate is to get it in every region. And in fact, some areas, some large populated regions, they may get 2 or 3 outlets. So I can assure you that given, it's a new process that they have entered. Now we have I believe 2 to 3 weeks, passports are ready to be issued. The challenge they said they were having is about delivery because of the way our address system is, and also the courier service that they have to use. So sometimes that is the only challenge, but they are working on it to make sure that almost every region should have an outlet. They should have a passport application center, and they are also going to improve on the courier system. And I'll work with Minister Blakwa at the same time to make sure that we are in this together and encourage it, because that should be the order of the day. Nobody should be traveling all the way from, say, Posiga to Kumasi or to Tamale for a passport. The risk that is involved, we all know the rate of road accidents, so it's all part of the work in progress. Thank you.
Thank you to my brother. I wish you all the best. More grease to your elbows and work harder, because we'll be coming around and sending our people to you. I have refused to give you my mantra because I want to ensure that you actually work hard. If I just say congratulations, bye-bye, and go, you will not work hard. So thank you, and I wish you the best.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, my sister. Save that for future day, and I'm sure I will impress you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, Honorable Jerry Amerishai.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, the nominee is my very best friend in Parliament. He's a very well-composed person. He knows I don't joke with him. It's just that we are in the line of duty, so I'll be very nice to him. I said I'll be very nice to him. Listen, you're always looking for trouble. I commend you highly for this nomination. I just want to ask you a few questions. The first one is that you're aware the embassy has been closed in Washington, and it was opened and the people were asked to come back home. So all the staff who came back home, we are told, are still at home. Were you briefed yesterday on this, and do you know if the ministry has any plans to have them go back to any new postings, and how soon the ministry intends to do that?
Thank you, Chairman. I would say I didn't get a detailed briefing on that, but I'll take a cue from what you've just said, and it will be on my list of inquiry to make sure that the direction is followed and we will put things in order. Thank you.
Thank you. My second question, I don't have a follow-up on the first. My second question is that I see you're very opinionated on the issue of dual citizenship, and that you are virtually becoming the prosecutor of dual citizenship, or the prophet of leading the charge. The president released a list of ambassadors. One of them that I know is a very solid person, but he's a South Korean, and I think he's Ghanaian. And I've also followed what happens in South Korea. It looks like you would have to go through a whole lot of processes before saying that you are no more a South Korean. In fact, you cannot say you are no more a South Korean. That's what I've studied or learned. What would you advise on such a scenario? Is there anything you are thinking of to advise your minister and perhaps the president?
Thank you. In regard to the question you just posed, Mr. Chairman, I think it requires a little bit more understanding of the process that it took to arrive at that decision. And I think it's an executive decision. As I've always said, my position, as you said earlier, you're right that I'm a strong advocate for dual citizenship. And you see, there's no place like home. And many of us, even some of our youth, I'm sure some members have even sent their kids outside to study. That was just an opportunity, right? And some have left our shores on their own accord. But the bottom line is that those of us who at least you reach adulthood of 18 plus and you leave your shores, no matter how long you are out there, because of your family ties, your cultural ties, you feel this is where you belong. And so we all as a nation should work towards this direction to make sure that some of our nationals, dual citizenship or whatnot, should be encouraged to come. And I think that is what I'm championing for. And then, of course, eventually our children and grandchildren can all also come back home. I mean, if we put our country together economically, this country will be one of the most blessed, a paradise in disguise. We just haven't tapped the top of it yet. This is a blessed country. And I think we should encourage our people to come as much as they can. Or even if you live here for advance, maybe for some studies or whatever, you should be able to come back. And I realized that was what was happening in the 60s and 70s. You know, when I was in secondary school at Advanced, most of my teachers were returnees. They've gone to Russia, they've gone to the Soviet Union at the time, they've gone, came back as chemistry teachers. Our doctors go to Cuba and come back and help the country. We are trained there and they come here. But to say that, well, you left and you can't come back, or if you come back, just, be a spectator, you can't be part of the process. Yes, your remittance will be received in good faith, but we don't need your help. I think it's something that we are doing damage to ourselves. We got a lot of investors, people. If the doors are open, a lot of them will bring resources to build this country. Thank you.
Chairman, thank you. Just a follow-up. So, in all of this, I remember the very venerable Kofi Annan. He did not take up any citizenship anyway, and he doesn't speak like you. His accent is raw like me from Choko and Ghpage. Is there any reason why you speak the way you speak and you took up the citizenship?
Thank you, Chairman. I think my friend is alluding to the fact that I don't even recognize I speak differently, but if that's what he's saying, I don't know how long Kofi Annan was out there, out of Ghana. Maybe he was a full-blown adult before he went. I stayed in Canada 42 years, and I think, you know, at the time, we didn't have as many of our cultural people around us, so you deal with what is available to you, right? So, you know, you deal with your white counterparts, your Caribbean counterparts, and so with time, it affects you when you're not even aware of what is affecting you. So I came back, and now I can speak Twi in idioms, because it came just like that. It was in my subconscious mind. So when I started my campaign, I was having challenges a bit. But then even my community were encouraging me to speak English. Even sometimes they didn't understand what I was saying. But, you know, now I can speak full-fledged Twi, Fanti, you know, so my brother, Chairman, my brother here, at a later time, we will engage, and then we'll speak common language together. Thank you.
Very well. Do you have more to go?
Yes, Chair. I want to find out from you your very independent view on LGBTQ+.
My independent view, as a true African, I'm not in favor of LGBTQ. You see, I was in Canada when LGBTQ was liberalized. I was one of the people who was against it in my community. So, answer to the question is that I would never support LGBTQ for cultural reasons, for religious reasons, and for the sanity of our own nation. Thank you.
Thank you. My last question. I just want to find out, Chairman is asking me what my views are. Chairman, I'm not in that chair, but if you want to know, I'm a typical girl boy. I don't know where you get. Straight, hello. My uncle is here, don't trap me. Chair, I just want to find out from my very good friend whether or not the 24-hour policy has anything to do with the Foreign Affairs Ministry. Are you doing anything with 24-hour policy, if you know? And if you know, what are those initiatives or actions or plans that the government of the day, and specifically the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, is embarking on with reference to your 24-hour policy?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm not privy to any policy at the Foreign Affairs in regards to 24-hour policy, employment policy, but what I know is that the foreign affairs is always, it's almost a pivotal sector for the country. So we have also a mandate to try to attract and work with investors who are coming in. And it should be in line with the government's policies. So, as I said earlier, if I'm looking to collaborate with Minister Ablakwa to see how we can get some project into the country, that will foster 24-hour economy. I think it should be in line, you know, because then the industries, factories, even other businesses that will come in will be able to be part of this 24-hour economy, because then we will have
Get set, Ghpage energy plus Gary soaking mix. Choco malt taste, it's on point. Get set, Ghpage. Get set, Ghpage. Pass, dribble, shoot, that's the goal. And pay jump, take control. Get set, Ghpage. Get set, Ghpage. Glucose energy every time. Ghpage energy plus the taste feels right. Fuel your fun, fuel your stride. Winning spirit, rise inside. Get set.
Introducing Ghpage Energy Gari Soaking Mix, Choco Plus Malt with Glucose Energy.
Get set, Ghpage.
This advert is FDA approved.
The 24-hour policy design.
Thank you, Chairman. I think answer to that is at this point in time, I'm not. I will learn as we get to the sector. If you give me the nod and I get there, as you, the leader indicated earlier, we're very good friends and we can always speak even outside the normal frame of arrangement of talk with the House. I can furnish any information that is available. Thank you.
Chair, thank you very much. I want to wish my very good friend very well. And I am praying that he has the support of this committee. He's so much on my heart. He's a very good man.
I think the committee is likely to take unanimous decision. Jerry Ahmed, we are taking unanimous decision.
Oh, Chawa, you don't have my leaders, so and I can't jump. It's just my personal view.
I will not proceed to give the floor to Deputy Ranking, Honorable Patricia Apiaje.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, for this opportunity. And my brother, Honorable Kwesi, I'd like to congratulate you for this. I've been looking at your CV, and I find it very interesting, especially the area where you had to study at John Brown College of Applied Arts and Technology. I was actually wondering, the discipline you undertook in that particular instrumentation and nuclear engineering diploma. Would you mind telling us a little bit of what it entails? Because I'm very much interested in that one.
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, if you look back to my resume, the time was sometime in '84 when I graduated in that. As a young man, fast track. When I was at Infantswim, I took to the O levels, both science and arts. So when I went in as a young man, obviously there was that initial cultural shock. My whole intent was to study and get work and earn a living. I never thought I'll be able to integrate into the culture. But once I graduated, You know, sometimes they say destiny is not what you control. I graduated that program in '84, and then there was just in '83, there was a nuclear accident. Because nuclear accident back in the Soviet Union time, there was nuclear accident in the Chernobyl, which is today's Ukraine. Canada also suffered its own minor nuclear reactor accident in Pickering, which is a suburb of Toronto where I was living. The arrangement was that the nuclear agency had a contract with George Brown College of Applied Arts and Technology where they will recruit the students right after graduation. They take you to their site. You are given facility to live. You paid. And just at '83, this whole dream was shattered. So then our recruitment didn't come on. And the professor was so kind to me that he offered me, I was a TA at the time, he offered me a lab technician to work along with him to train the incoming students. Through that arrangement, I decided then I'll go back to university, and that's when I entered into social sciences. So this is the journey of my life. Why I didn't work with that instrumentation, that was my focus at the time, to go into nuclear science. So thank you very much.
A follow-up, Mr. Chair. Are you aware that currently in Ghana is pursuing the opportunity to establish a nuclear energy facility in the country for the use of power and energy? Are you aware of that?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. I've heard about the talk or discussion on that subject, but I haven't gone deep into it.
And would you recommend, because you know there is a general perception that nuclear power is dangerous, but at the same time, it's one of the safest means and cheapest means of electricity supply and the promotion of industries. Would you recommend? And if you have, I don't know if you still follow it up, which country would you recommend to promote this agenda for the country Ghana? Thank you.
As it stands right now, Ms. Chairman, I think my sister has asked a very intelligent question. But I think globally, most countries that I know are shying away from nuclear energy at this point because of we are looking at green energy now. So I think that I'm not going to totally, if I'm ever consulted, totally deviate from advising them, but comparatively, I think solar energy will be even more appropriate for a country like Ghana because we got abundant sun, 12 hours of sunlight, and I think that will be even the cheapest way of getting our energy sources. Thank you.
Very much. Having been in that institution, that's a second follow-up. In that field, I was expecting you to rather educate people because we have various usage anyway. But I think you really explained your limitation as an initial exploratory. So I'll grant you that one. Thank you very much. And I'll go on to my next observation. You went to Fansipim Secondary School, Ghana. At the time you finished your education, what certification were you given? Because I have here with me high school diploma. At that time, were they offering high school diploma or GC and O level? I mean, I don't know. I need that kind of clarification would you seek the leave of the chair to correct it if you have to do so? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. I think my sister friend here is very critical, and I think it was my putting together as the thought is today to bring awareness or understanding, because most of the panel may not even know what GCO level is all about. So I thought the easiest way to say the diploma is what is offered these days. So we alluded to that, but I stand corrected that there was a GCO level. Thank you.
I asked if you would seek the leave of the chair to correct that information, because it's very much required. This is a house of record.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, I would like to seek a leave to make a correction on that. Thank you.
Leave granted at request.
Thank you very much, Honorable. On the same educational background, is it a preparation school or a preparatory school? Preparation or preparatory? Penwood School, the primary school that you attended. Was it a preparation school or a preparatory school? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It was a preparatory school, which means I did 6 years, grade 1 to 6. Thank you, Ms.
So please, would you, as we are asking the leave of the chair, to correct that one too. Thank you. Would you?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to make a...
Leave consequentially granted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have also observed in your employment history that you were engaged as a policy analyst and as in social services at the Toronto City. And may I please get education on that and how we can relate that to our local governance system. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The policy analyst at the city level of Toronto, Employment and Social Services, this is a department where you analyze the budget that is allocated to the metropolitan city. We have a department where we have budget specialists, we have engineers, all city stakeholders, where we formulate budget to determine how to develop a community. And also sometimes it's for maintenance of the community. So like here, we don't, unfortunately, maybe we're still growing our economy to a point where everything, as you members or we all know, they call on you, the MP or the DCE. Yeah, the institutions actually work. So this is where we are able to sit down and allocate within the municipal the office itself what amount should go to city engineer, what amount should go to infrastructure, community. All budget is where, this is where most of the advocacy happens. So as an analyst, you work along with them. They'll bring their, I guess, proposals and requests, and then you see what is needed for every sector, or not a sector per se, but every department to carry on with their regular duty. They have maintenance issues with vehicles, procurement, and all that. So this is where that direction is. Thank you.
Right, Honorable Chair, I'd like to follow up on that. Honorable nominee, are you aware that in preparing our budget, especially the one pertaining to your constituency, what is the the constituency. Ascend North, there's always a preparatory aspect of it where you engage the community, where the planning officers within your district are supposed to engage the community and then come up before the allocations are even made. I want to find out from you, have you ever engaged yourself that way? Because you are an asset. What you did in the city of Toronto could be transferred to your constituency. You are an asset. Are you not in the know, or you've never had the opportunity to transfer that kind of institutional memory to your constituency?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have not had the opportunity, but I know that I'm a member of the Assembly, and so we'll be pursuing that. Again, I don't want to go back to my experience of the last 4 years because it wasn't a smooth operation for me to be more participatory until this recent times. So, yes, I think we will also be able to guide the district engineers and in preparing their budget and those things to see how best we can. Because unfortunately, you see, the money comes in a bulk, or sometimes there's no money at all. So it's so difficult to, unlike the experience I had, your budget is allocated to you, in entirety, so you can pick and choose and make your own planning as to how to conduct the operations. But yes, I think it's a learning process, again, for our communities. So I'll take that advice as well and try to engage them a little bit more to see how best we can organize a better planning for them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable, I'm looking at strengthening diaspora engagement. The Ghanaian diaspora, estimated at over 3 million globally, contributes significantly, according to the Bank of Ghana figures. Even in 2023, they contributed to about 4.3 billion by way of remittances. However, there's such limited consular challenges and barriers to diaspora investment, and this persists continuously. We need to be the deputy for the Foreign Affairs Ministry. How will you enhance diaspora engagement or support your minister to enhance diaspora engagement, improve consular services, and create incentives for diaspora investments in sectors like agriculture and technology? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I think the sector, as I spoke, had a meeting with the sector directors, as well as a briefing I had from Minister Blackwell. I think there's a part already where they have created under his own watch what they call delivery section or bureau, you may want to call it, that is going to be more working directly with the embassies to improve what my sister, honorable leader, just said, that I think it's been brought to the attention similarly what you just described. So this is more or less a personal, they are accountable to the minister per se. This new bureau, which is the delivery bureau, is accountable to them. They are going to measure the performances of some of this as an oversight to make sure they address the issues and concerns of the aspirants who who are seeking help in those embassies and consulate generals. Thank you.
Nominee, my next question is, are you aware that Ghana maintains a non-aligned foreign policy? If no, then you correct me, but if yes, are you aware? Then I'll come up with my follow-up question.
Thank you, Chair. I'm very aware that Ghana is towing the non-aligned move. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Therefore, balancing relationships with the global powers like the United States, China, and the European Union. Recent discussions such as the US-China rivalry over critical minerals in Africa place Ghana in a very delicate position. Given its significant bauxite and lithium deposits, how will you support your minister to ensure Ghana's foreign policy remains independent while maximizing benefit from partnerships with these powers, particularly in securing favorable trade and investment agreements? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I think, again, my honorable member has asked a very important question. There's a policy that, executive policy that should align with sector's implementation of such. You cannot individually, as a department, decide what you think is very appropriate for you to do. It has to be in line with the manifesto and government's agenda. It's a collaboration of so many executive and sector decisions that has to go into place. Technocrats and all that has to be on board. So, as I said earlier, we are non-aligned, and we should not be seen as leaning to one side more than the other, because circumstances can always change, you know, and then you find yourself boxed into something you can't get out. So my response to your question is that I'll follow keenly the directives of the ministry as collaborated with the executive, and make sure that I give my maximum effort for achieving what will not put our country in jeopardy. This is first and foremost, Ghana comes first. As President Trump would say, America comes first. He should also know that we also have a country, so we also come first. Thank you.
Thank you. On climate issues, climate change and environmental diplomacy, it really poses a significant challenge to Ghana, including coastal erosions in areas like Qatar and flooding in the north and all that. And it really threatens livelihoods and food security. So it's an issue that we should be looking at carefully. Ghana has committed to the Paris Agreement and seeks international support for climate adaptation. As a deputy, and I know your work is quite broad, what strategies would you support your minister to pursue to position Ghana as a leader in the environmental diplomacy, secure climate finance, and ensure that international partnerships address Ghana's specific climate vulnerabilities? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. I think green energy is the way to go. Ghana should be seen as investing our resources more in that direction, whether it's hydro, electricity, whether it's transportation. You know, we should be seen as towing that direction, and with that, I'm sure investors in this direction.
Listen, I love makeup. So when I noticed Seraphim, the new online cosmetic store, I knew that I just had to try it. On my phone, I
uncomfortable to invest because climate change does not only affect the existing community, or we might say, well, Adan is having flooding and all that, but it affects everybody. It affects our food chain. It affects diseases, whatever comes, you know, the wind has no limit where to blow. And so we all know when some pandemics or whatever happens here, it happens everywhere. So we have to be seen as working towards that. If you're looking for investor support in certain areas, you have to be seen as doing the same, or at least showing the example. You can't be importing in diesel buses when you say you want to tow climate change. At some point, we may not even be driving diesel Land Cruisers anymore. We should be seen as augmenting and changing our life practices that will reflect climate change for our future generation. And so by that means, investors will look at it that we are serious about our policy of green energy, and will put money. They also know it affects them all the same. Yeah, we have to be mindful that the West or the investors just don't invest simply for the sake of the love for the country. They invest because they're getting something out of it. And I always make example to my community when I go there. I say, back in the days, all of a sudden you say, oh, Ghana received 1,000 tractors free. There's nothing free. We go out there and we cut tapes and do fanfare. But for the next 50 years, we're buying parts from the country that donated the buses. And we're creating employment for them, while we are here just consuming. So these are some of the things we have to look at. And I bring enough experience and expertise in that direction to support my minister. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable. But my last question, and that is, you mentioned that your role in your sector is pivotal in nature. And looking at the span of work that you have to undertake, and most of the time it takes you out of the country. Do you think that having just one deputy minister will help you address the issues that is facing your ministry at this point in time? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. I think Minority Leader has asked a very important question again, and I can assure her that given the limited amount of ministers the President decided to appoint. This is part of our manifesto pledge, and we intend to honor that. And for that reason, I think he's put a lot of consideration into his appointees to see how strong and how formidable they are going to be able to handle the work that is assigned to them. And I can assure you, I'm relentless, and I'm a globe trotter. So traveling is nothing to me at all. I'm used to it, so I can handle it. And I think Minister Blackwell and myself should be able to handle the sector effectively. Thank you.
Finally, Honorable, I wish you well, but I would like to find out something very critical. As a Ghanaian, I always meet you on the corridors, hoping to speak Fanti with you, but I never get it. Do you speak Fanti?
Thank you, Chairman. Mpocho Mtefanti. And I'm a catchy super. Thank you.
I wish you well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Surera, I'm going to permit you to ask one and only one question as a friend of the committee. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Thank you for your magnanimity. Congratulations once again, my brother. Yapume.
Mpocho Boko.
Chairman, before I ask my question, I just want us to look at P2 of the nominees CV. Pacho yonko P2 1971, Winneba Teachers College, Ghana, General Education.
Please, when you speak the Fanti, then you speak English so that we can, the Hansard can capture it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, on your CV, nominee, Winneba Teachers College, General Education, Teaching, Diploma, 1971. I happen to have grown up in Winneba, and I want to assume that I grew up on the same campuses where you obtained the General Education Teaching Diploma. And I think I know that it was called Advanced Teachers Training College, Winneba. They had both the North and the South campuses. The North campus was the Specialist Training College. I want to know whether this was the same place where you had your teacher education.
Thank you, yes. This is the same college, yes.
So will you want to beg leave of the chair and amend it accordingly?
Thank you, Chair. I will request amendment. Thank you.
Leave granted. Go ahead.
So thank you very much. My one question.
Hold on, leaders on my attention. So let's give him the opportunity. You're on the floor, leader.
Yeah. Honorable Zuera, Chair, thank you for the opportunity. I wasn't born early enough, so I would want this clarification from you. Since we are all from Winneba, if I heard you correctly, you said we had Advanced Teacher Training College and then Specialist Training College. And the Advanced Teacher Training College was in the South Campus, and Specialist Training College was North Campus. Yeah, well, I was born in 78, and I came to meet it, and I attended Specialist Training College Preparatory Demonstration School. And after the Advanced Teacher Training College Demonstration School. I grew up knowing the two institutions to be separate, distinct in their nomenclature. However, when former president brought all together, we had National Academy of Music, which was also an independent institution, and brought all three, STC, NAM, and ATTC. Then STC became North Campus, ATTC became South Campus. I just wanted clarification from you for the records. Was it that in your time, these two institutions were under one principal? Because when I was growing up, I knew that STC had its own principal, and then ATTC had its own principal, And the North and South campuses came by as a result of the establishment of the University College of Education, Winneba, then. So I just want clarification because you were before me, so that.
Thank you very much, Leader. Indeed, I was before you and I attended the ATTC Demonstration Primary School, which was a completely separate institution. There are the two advanced specialist training colleges. The ATTC provide general teacher training colleges where the special college provides special in custom designed disciplines like sports, catering, and that was special. But ATTC provided general training. At the time I was, and then we had, of course, the Music Academy. At the time I was there, Mr. Yanni was the principal of the Advanced Teachers Training College, and the STC had its own principal. Indeed, Mr. Yanni's son, Joel, who is the head of the oncology department at Kolebu, was my classmate in Winneba. So they were separate, two separate, and I want to believe that the nominee would have been at ATTC.
Yeah, they were separate, as Honorable Leader said.
So in other words, then it wasn't known as North and South. Okay, that's what I wanted you to clarify.
All right. No, it wasn't known as North and South. I just used that for the location purposes.
Nominee, your request still stands granted. So go ahead.
Thank you, Chairman. I have one question, nominee. Ghana's foreign policy currently is standing in the middle of a lot of global and regional difficulties. We can worry about the Russia-Ukraine crisis. We have the challenges in the Sahel. We have the Israel-Gaza difficulties that has really put our foreign policy and diplomacy to test. But when we zero in home at ECOWAS and the current situation of ECOWAS, do you think that ECOWAS currently, as it stands, can stand the test of taking care of the security of our region? And is there anything that you will work with your minister, together with your minister, to do in order to strengthen Ghana's leadership at ECOWAS and to enable ECOWAS to work closely with the Sahel countries to see whether there's a possibility of getting back on the democratic track and having a harmonious ECOWAS as we had before? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, my dear sister. I think we had earlier spoken about the fact that Ghana's foreign policy is initiated by Pan-Africanism as well as non-aligned. In regards to ECOWAS and the regional tension, you've seen that Ghana has taken the role of, regardless of the Sahel breaking away, Ghana has taken initiative to still maintain dialogue and diplomacy with these regions. Because you see, if you want to solve a problem, you try to make friends. You don't just fight, because you cannot. We are neighbors to these countries. We share cultural values. We share even relationships. Some people are in Ghana who are related to others in Burkina. So we have to be very, very strategic in relationship with them. I've seen the Mahama administration, President Mahama administration already demonstrating some kind of regional or at least bilateral relations with these countries. You can't cut them off totally. And so with that ongoing diplomacy, in my capacity as a deputy, I'll tour along with the executive direction, as well as the Minister Blackwa's onward look, and we work together to make sure that I've always said I'm a Pan-Africanist, and I wish, I personally even wish someday to come we would not have any boundaries in our countries, and try to abolish this colonial mentality about being different people from different planets. We are here together, and we have a common goal. The West don't see an African as Ghanaian or as Cote d'Ivoire or Burkina. They see you as black. They call you African, but we are inside Africa dividing ourselves. So this is a problem. This is some of the principles and values I have that I'm going to support my minister together, and I also know that he's also a strong advocate for Pan-Africanism, and we're going to work together and try to reach out with, and Mr. President is also a very open-minded person that we can always engage, and I'm sure he has his own thoughts and reasons why he put me alongside with Minister Blakwa. So we're going to work together to make sure that we don't fume the situation in our borders, but rather, and then give ECOWAS time to realign, their relationship with the rest. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Congratulations. Wishing you all the best.
Thank you very much. Honorable Shaibu, you have the floor now.
Mr. Chairman, I'm exceedingly grateful for the opportunity. Congratulations, my brother. Public service has always been one of the unattractive places to work. Indeed, most people sacrifice to serve their nation. Given where you have come from, given the in and outs of court and the rest of that, and as a Pan-Africanist, do you have any regrets that you opted to come and serve your nation and you went through such? And if so, why? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. No word of a regret at all, to answer it bluntly. But I want to assure you that sometimes we all engage in a line of work that we don't even know why we are involved. During my challenging times, of course, I did ask myself many times, why am I doing this? But there was no answer to it. They said, if we don't do it, who's going to do it? Especially when I came home and I saw the condition of life of my people. It touched my heart. And I think you work in life. There's nothing like, I always say to people, my happiest moment is when I put a smile in the destitute person's face. It's worth to me more than millions. I've grown among family members, I've grown around family friends, wealthy people, filthy wealthy. I have to say I grew up as a privileged child, looking at the life of other people. But I always remember my mom and dad were sharing to the community. And maybe it affected me. So despite all the years I spent out there, I came back to see what I can contribute to my people. And it's still very fulfilling to me. I know some of the things I went through were mainly political, maneuvering, but I don't take it personally. At the end of the day, it's over. I have to look forward and fulfill the vision I came to town with. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Thank you.
On that note, I wish you very well in your new career.
Thank you very much, Honorable. I will now be granting the floor to the minority leader, and then hopefully, in the absence of the chairman, I will conclude and bring the curtain to a close. So, Honorable Minority Leader, you have the floor.
Honorable colleague, we on this side of the House, the minority, acknowledge your nomination as Deputy Foreign Minister, Regional Integration. Of course, recognizing your parliamentary service for Asen North and extensive Canadian experience. Your nomination comes at a critical period of Ghana's diplomacy. It's marked by the recent Washington story, which came to the floor of the House. The need to realign complex geopolitical issues, climate change, evolving economic partnerships. Without doubt, as Deputy Minister, should you go through the North, should you get a North, you will serve under a minister who operates under presidential direction. Your role demands supporting ministerial leadership in implementing Ghana's foreign policy whilst bringing international perspective to diplomacy and its challenges. However, I note from your CV that your background is in social services rather than diplomacy. And this may raise issues of preparation for international relations, and it's also in all of its sophistications. My focus this afternoon will be to assess your readiness to support your minister in advancing Ghana's interests while addressing the systemic diplomatic challenges that we face. And proceeding, I mean no disrespect to you when it comes to questions I'm going to ask you. I would want you to relax, be easy. You and I know that we share a spirit equal. And we've been together, all right? And I just have to do this job for the good of governance. I hope you bear with me. First, I've gone through your CV, and you have mentioned Professor Azar Kwekwasari and Mr. Tachu Chikata as your referees. How long have you known each of them?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I assume from the question that the Honorable Minority Leader would like to know my relationship with the two referees and how long I've known them. Yes, Mr. Tachu Chikata, surprisingly to some people, I've known Tachu Chikata from when we were at Infantsville. When I went to Form 1 secondary school,
Children of yesteryears couldn't resist it. And children of today, they are moved by it. It's a
lawyer that attracts. And whatever your choice, Fun Milk quality products keep you cool and refreshed. Fun Milk triggers so much fun and excitement with just a blast of a horn. Fun Milk, spreading joy to everyone.
This advert is FDA approved.
As much as possible, be very specific. He has known subject since 2020 and describe him as calm, dedicated, and ambitious. Mr. Tachichikata, subject second character referee, is a 74-year-old and a senior lawyer at Fuga and Company, Ridge, Accra. He confirmed he's known the subject since 2020 as his lawyer and described him as dedicated, humble, and hardworking. So I just want you to briefly clarify from what they are saying and what you've just said.
Thank you, Chair. I think responses from the referees.
Do you think they were responded in context? Do you think they were responded in context?
I suggest so.
Very well. Let's make progress then. How old are you?
72.
Do you have with you, not necessarily here, a birth set to confirm that details?
You mean original birth certificate, Mr. Chair?
A birth set?
No, I don't have a birth set. I have a passport.
Passport is issued based on some original document or primary document. The passport itself is a secondary document in my view. How did you acquire your passport? What details did you provide in terms of documentary proof of your age?
I do have the document, but I was responding to the readiness of it, but if I have to provide it, yes, I'll be able to provide it.
So you have a birth set?
Yes, I do.
Oh, very well. Now, you lived abroad and came to Ghana and went back home to serve your people. May I know from you, what was the inspiration?
Thank you again. I think I sort of hinted that reason or the cause of it, but for the sake of minority leaders' question, what inspired me most, I would say, and I think this question was asked of me sometime in 2023, was my mom, and also late Professor Mill. My mom is also late. They both had influenced my thoughts that it's always best to come and give your support to your home country, your community. Mind you, my mom was a queen mother in her community prior to her passing. And so when she last visited me in Canada, just before she was leaving to come home, this was back in May 2008. She had a private conversation with me and said, you should come home and help, because the people are going through a lot of challenges. Life is not easy. Professor Mills, on the other hand, Was visiting Canada all the same.
Oh, life was not easy.
Yes.
Never mind.
For the people in the community.
Your community, very
Yes.
well. So share with us, then and now, having come in, share with us some specific impacts you've made. We would look at 3. 1, social services, specifically. What specific impacts have you made in terms of social services?
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. I taken office in 2021 with a limited time I had to engage with my communities. I would say under my leadership, we had a huge deficit of electricity, lighting, not electricity supply itself, but the community was almost 80% dark. And I know what that means to residents. I embarked on a massive street lighting, which I had brought, and some, of course, I did get from Parliament. Almost 2,500 street lights went throughout the city.
You mean from the government?
Not all from the government.
You said from Parliament?
I said some came from Parliament or the government, yes.
I mean, what is given to MPs
exactly
is from the government. The ministry writes to us that they've made these available.
Correct.
So I just wanted you to clarify that.
Okay. So periodically we get some street light supplies from the government through the ministry. So I had 2 distributions of such kind, 200 apiece at a time, which was about 400. But the bulk of it, about 2,000, I brought it in myself. That's when I started the electrification.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I think, don't let's belabor. Infrastructure. Let's go to infrastructure.
Infrastructure, I have rehabilitated at least not less than about 6 schools. I've built about 2 schools. You also have to understand that I was doing all this under very much duress.
Don't worry.
Challenges. And it wasn't easy for me, but I tried the best I can. So
the renovations.
Excuse me.
The renovations. The renovations of 6. Don't worry.
Yes.
The 6 schools you renovated. Did you have to rely on your common fund to do the renovation, or you had to take your hand into your pocket to do that?
It's halfway, because the common funds was not sufficient.
Certainly.
I had to chip in, yes.
That's fine. What about the 2 schools you built? Was it also common fund and your personal earnings?
The 2 schools are lobby support from family and friends to put up those 2 schools.
Was it solely family and friends, or that one to common fund was supported the building of the
Some
schools?
of the materials, yes, got some support.
Which communities are these 2 schools?
There's one school in a community called Zambori, and then not Bediedia. There's another school called Abutaria.
So these are completely new, correct?
They are new, yes.
Now, in terms of individual empowerment to individuals, particularly women, have you something to share?
Thank you. Yes, I engage in vocational training for women.
How many have benefited so far in terms of sewing machines or hair dryers?
Over 200.
How about the male youth?
The male youth, I engage some of them into basic skills like helping them with their driver's license, because a lot of them were illegally driving or even using them. Yeah.
Very well. Now, I went to your community. Something struck me, and I've shared this with you privately.
Yes.
But I also think that it is good for democracy to say it publicly.
Okay.
When we went there, and forgive me anyway, don't be too offended, I was there to campaign for my candidate, or our candidate. Obviously, there was competition. And the various communities we visited, it wasn't about you. They say, this equation, this equation, this equation. So I was eager to find out why the man is not a DC, or he was DC before. Then they said, oh, his dad, many years ago, what he did. This is something that struck me, and it made a positive impact on me, that whatever I'm also doing in Winneba, I should remember someday people saying these nice things about me when I'm dead and gone to my kids, that, oh, your dad, your dad, your dad. How would you say Daddy's records have helped your political career?
Thank you, Chair. I think Minority Chair is right on point. Dad was a very effective politician. He was the first appointed district commissioner in Kwame Nkrumah's administration. At the time, Asin was just one district. And Asin South, North, and Central, as we see today, was one district. So all the initial developments in that area was under his watch and his hands. He built secondary schools, he built training colleges, he recruited the police, set up police posts and stations. So, you know, I think majority...
Was it during his time that we had the Fosu Immigration College situated in
No,
Fosu?
the Immigration College was not... He was part of it. At the time, he was a civilian, but he was appointed a board member and a district assembly. But so I would say he was also part influence.
Okay, now you are in government. Fosu has an immigration training school. You are in government.
Correct.
Deputy Foreign Minister. You know a lot of your youth want to wear uniform.
Totally.
Do you hope to leverage all these contributions by Daddy and the community elders to get your people their fair share when it comes to recruitment? Do you hope to leverage on that?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Absolutely. Not even just immigration alone. I want to leverage on a lot of the forces, because that will give this youth a secure future, whether it's police, immigration, fire service, prisons. But most importantly, as you said, this has never really happened, because even though the school is in that community, it looks as though they are always shortchanged.
So the youth of Asin North should be expectant?
I can guarantee that.
Very well. You are 74 or 2?
2.
Should they expect you to continue for a third term?
Minority Leader.
Yes, Uncle.
I'll be lobbying that through you if possible, and I'm sure that Sin North people are very eager and anxious for my leadership.
Chair, this is your committee. You can have your liberty, and I'll come back after.
Nominee, I expect you to continue. Your first term was actually more or less denied.
Thank you, sir.
You know, Uncle Kweku doesn't throw low blows, but if he decides to throw one, he throws it well. Very well. So, with this early announcement, you must be aware that your style of retail politics has helped you. And you know that because of social media, our youth are so anxious to connect with leadership. How do you hope to fill that gap? Foreign minister, deputy foreign minister, a lot of travel.
Thank you. I think, you see, my style of administration has been such that I believe in outsourcing, not saying even outsourcing, but delegating. I do a lot of delegation to people.
So you would delegate?
I would delegate
Very
a
well.
lot of it. Thank you.
Very well. Now, let's look at your area. And I'm just going to deal with diplomatic competency and professional readiness. It seems to me that your background centers on social services and community development rather than international relations or formal diplomatic training. Given the complex demands, as I've already said, you will effectively be supporting your minister without compromising Ghana's position in high-stakes international engagement. How do you hope to navigate this new area of multilateral negotiation, treaty framework, and diplomatic protocols? This is not your area.
Thank you. I think if you look back to some of my interests that I have held before, it will be very interesting for you to know that for over 12 years I was engaged with African newcomers in Canada for almost 12 good years, even in between when I was a student, because they lacked representation. They didn't have the resources to retain a lawyer. During that period, Ontario didn't have a policy of giving legal counsel to refugees or people who are claiming to be refugees or illegal immigrants. I offered myself with the agency that I belong to, is called it CANAT. CANAT simply means Canadian African Newcomers Association. I led them to immigration hearings, made sure they were able to present their cases.
So, Honorable Nominee, from what you are saying, you're basically telling this committee that although you don't have such direct training in this area, you will leverage on experience to enable you to achieve so, correct?
That's absolutely correct.
Very well. What specific diplomatic training, now that you are not there, in terms of international knowledge, foreign service expertise, do you hope to acquire as you get on the job? Can you share with us your readiness to get some training, or your readiness to pursue rigorously some proper understanding of international law to enable you properly assist your minister?
Thank you. I believe in most learning on the job. As we all know, most of us here as legislators, we came from different walks of lives, but here we are legislating and making rules for the country. So in my capacity, with my maturity, my experience, my exposure, I can assure you honorable leader that I will be able to meet the task. Recently, I was there for briefing. I got about 12 directors who came on the board room to brief me up. I felt instantly connected. I am someone also who was always interested in current affairs, in foreign policies and foreign happenings. Whether it's Iran, whether it's Ukraine, Russian war, I can give you a whole analysis of the Soviet Union. I have lived through presidents from Carter right through to Trump, and I follow every aspect of international politics. So
very well.
I'm very much confident. Thank you.
Honorable member and nominee, I'm not going to be personal here, but I am situating my question in context. So bear with me. I just want to get to a point so that we can navigate. You are Christian, correct?
Correct.
You know, in Christianity, some Christian churches forbid alcohol. Others do not. My church, for instance, I'm a Catholic. Catholics are not against alcohol. But it doesn't mean that you should be a drunkard as a Catholic. Your Christianity that you practice, is alcohol forbidden?
You mean my religion?
First you answered you were Christian.
Yes.
Yes, so I mean yes. You know, Christianity is in different forms.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, so I'm saying that some Christians, some Christian churches, like the Charismatics, the Pentecostals, they say no to alcohol completely. I don't know of Methodists, but I'm a Catholic, so I'm speaking for Catholic. Catholic, we are not forbidden. It doesn't mean that as a Catholic you should be a drunkard. I want to know from you, your Christian group.
I think I'm also a Methodist Christian, and
you take wine
and
champagne.
Our rules is the same as the Catholic.
Oh, very well. Okay, so
after this fufu and pepper soup, I go score goals like them the dash points.
Kivo 100% natural hot pepper, good for your jollof, stew, soup.
His colleague ambassadors, anytime they invite for dinner, and he shared this story with me when I became a majority leader, and he wanted to advise me on what steps to take. He said, well, when you are invited for dinner, no serious conversation ensue until you've taken enough of the wine. Then the ambassadors will start asking. Are you mindful of such a practice in diplomatic circles?
I think, Mr. Chair, thank you again. If you want to know my personality, I don't endure in alcohol in public places. So where there's 2 or more people together, I'll never take alcohol. Thank you.
So therefore, you go for a diplomatic engagement and you are toasting when you are supposed to share a toast, and the champagne comes. The country should know that our deputy minister will use water to toast because there are 2 or more people, correct?
Absolutely. So toasting, you don't have to necessarily indulge in it. You can just raise it as a sign and drop it. And for those who want to empty their glass, they are welcome to do that. But
You toast with your champagne, but you will not taste.
Absolutely.
You don't empty your glass.
I will not even sip it.
Very well. That noted. But you are, this story I've just shared, you have just answered with the position you take. But you are aware that oftentimes it is at that period that a lot of information get out, although you've taken an oath of secrecy, and that becomes a problem for a lot of diplomats. You know about that?
Thank you. Yes, I'm very much aware of that. And I think this day and age, a lot of people will acknowledge you and associate with you all the same, even if you are not participating. And I think they should also understand my maturity, that I've experienced this long enough not to make it an important habit in my life. So I can still remain on the sideline, and even, I think that's the best position you can take, is not to be part of it, and so you can extract more information for your own good. Thank you.
Honorable nominee, one of my professors recently told me that brevity is a rule. So, just to guide you, this is the second time I'm saying this. Well, while you may be thinking about this issue of legal experience and international law application, you know, with all your experience you went through, I would want to ask you some few questions for you to share some views on it. You see, you may be having legal challenges regarding citizenship and electoral eligibility, which concluded with your acquittal and discharge. This experience provided you with first-hand exposure to complex international law principles and citizenship issues. With all the experience you've had, especially as you stood in the box, how would you apply the insight you gain from navigating these legal processes to support your minister in addressing similar citizenship and consular challenges that Ghanaians face abroad?
Thank you. I think I did an underlining policy or direction I wanted to take in regards to the dual citizenship amendment bill that I mentioned earlier. This is very dear to me because of what I went through. And I also shared with the panel here that brothers and sisters outside in the diaspora have immense resources, knowledge, and experience, and the academics to bring here to help us build our nation, added to what we already have here. Ghanaians have a volume of academics and experienced people, but we need those also who have had some exposure to add it on to make negotiating with the outside world a lot easier and getting business done. So my input here will be supporting my minister in forging some diplomacy, some bilateral engagement, and make sure that Ghana, we also get the benefit out of it. In fact, we have to look at our country first, and we will be helping the executive in the same direction, taking into consideration the policies that they've handed to the sector to deal with. So I'm looking forward to, if I get a nod, to be able to foster such inputs. Thank you.
So, in other words, the situation you went through has been an eye-opener. Which eye-opener, if I should say, is going to help you in terms of how you assist your minister in policy formulation in that area of dual citizenship and solving people's problems, correct?
That is correct. Thank you.
You mentioned Professor Asare, and you stated him as your referee. I'm sure we should be seeing an amendment to our constitution soon, correct?
That is correct. In fact, last parliament it was tabled. I'm sure Minority Leader, you were very much aware of it.
Yeah, everything went with the 8th parliament. So are you ready to initiate that process again?
Thank you. Yes, and I will seek your counsel and support to initiate this amendment because it's going to help our country. Thank you.
Yes, so should we expect your government to support this initiative at least by end of year?
I'm very convinced that my government, current government, will support it. I even believe the previous government was in support of that as well. Thank you.
Now let's look at strategic positioning of Ghana vis-a-vis its relationship with the great powers. There seems to be a wind of unilateralism blowing among some great powers, and countries like Ghana seem to be very much left in the cold. How do you hope that a country like Ghana that is going to be affected by this new wind blowing to, as it were, position itself to create some economic empowerment, provide social services for its people?
Thank you. I think Ghana has all along laid the foundation for such eventualities. Due to our non-aligned policy. You see, I shared earlier that if you commit yourself to a specific direction, then you can be caught with your hands down. Ghana, from independence, has been a non-aligned and also a strong pro-African. And with our vision and with our international policy, foreign affairs policy, I think Ghana still stands a ground that we will not. I am very convinced that we just need to arrange our resources, get appropriate stakeholders, those who want to do business with us, but not to interfere with our internal affairs. And we should be able to endure any challenges that comes along, adding value to our raw materials. We get into those things, give the youth a purpose of life. And in Americans right now, I could see it's just, I'm always of the adage that no condition is permanent. And so one way or the other, it's just this Trump administration that has initiated this whole thing, which other countries are responding, and trying to be of a nationalist nature. But that is not the fundamental value or belief of Americans. And so with time, I think things will be able to line up. But this also cautions us to make sure that we develop our own background to be able to be sustainable. Thank you.
Honorable nominee, you make a very striking and profound statement, which I agree with. Now, what are the systemic weaknesses that you find your few years in Ghana? You are saying we have to build the structures, we have to do this, we have to do that. We have to empower the youth. We have to be independent. what are the weaknesses that you find?
Thank you. To be honest with you, Mr. Chair, the weaknesses I find is, unfortunately, our partisan attitude. We should find a better way to build this country together. We should not go after one another's party just for the sake of being a member of a party. This is something that I found it very strange when I, as you mentioned, my few years here. And if, I think it's almost as though if we have to find a way to reset our own minds. We've talked about resetting the country, but let's reset our minds, because the person doing the resetting, of course, is generating from your own senses, right? So if you are always doing things thinking that I'm going to discredit this government because I'm not part of the party, it's affecting everybody. So, and we need to also develop some national agenda, something that we could work towards. If it's a 40 years, a 50 years, let's set up a national agenda so that I've seen in my own community, constituent when I came, that was able to identify about 5 projects that were abandoned. Projects that have reached almost 60% completion, 40% completion. Resources went in. But for the sake of change of administration, they rather will go build a new one. But at the end of the day, it goes to the same people. And this is one of my frustrations that I'm finding very difficult to understand. But I know as time goes, we are a young democracy, so sometimes I say, well, maybe we are too hard on ourselves, but we have a lot around us to learn from. When those democracies were going on, they didn't have anywhere to look at for an example. Here we have it. So why are we not using that opportunity and throwing punches at each other? That's all my prayers, that one day, someday to come, Africans will realize that we are our own enemies. There's no external enemy. The enemy is within us. And we need to wake up. Because if I get rich and my neighbor is poor, what is the value? We live here, and everybody's house is walled. When I first came about 10 years ago, I wanted to build a house. I told my contractor, I don't need a wall. You know what he said to me? Then your house is where the thieves will be having a meeting. I said, why? I've never lived, even when I was growing up in our house in Cape Coast and Asenfosu, there was no fence walls. I lived in Canada till 2020, there were no fence walls. I'm sure most of you have traveled there. Here, when you're building a house, the first thing you build is a wall. Because even the materials you put there, they're going to steal it. Why? Because you don't have, if you have a meaningful work to do, are you going to waste your time and go to somebody's house and lift a shovel or lift some electricity cables? No. But because at the end of the day, they have to survive. So please, let's I don't want to get much into that, Honorable Member. But the answer to your question is that I'll be able to assist in that direction. Thank you.
Before I go on, you said you lived in Canada to 2020. Now, I know you give up your citizenship. Currently, when you go into Canada, do you go take visa from the High Commission or you have a residence permit?
Absolutely. I'm on a visa.
Very well. So let's go back to that important matter that you raised. Do you think that as political leaders, we have a lot of work to do to change the attitude of our youth, including ourselves?
Thank you. I think we have the onerous responsibility to change. You see, our youth are looking at us. They look at what I will say to you and you will say to me. So when it's handed down, they're just going to practice the same. So if we change our attitude, I'm very positive the youth and the rest of the nation will look at it differently. No, I don't want to be seen as someone who is antagonistic or who is trying to be divisive. You embrace people as who they are and work with them. Political parties, of course, they have the agenda to win elections and form governments. But the opposition, there's always going to be one party at the opposition. Job is to direct and steer the ruling government, not to pull it down. Because if you have 58% of the population in support of you and 42 is against, are you running only 58% of the population? No, we're running the entire country. So I applaud President Mahama's initiative that, you know, at least he's setting the tone. He's setting the tone that this country belongs to all of us, not some of us. And if that is what we have been dealing with in the last 20 years, Ghana would have been somewhere already. But it's not too late. Let's move forward and let's hope that we can bridge the gap and form one administration. You know, we become one people and support the initiatives that is coming. When the previous administration had a free SHS, it affected all the kids in the communities. Today we have first-year tertiary free education. It will affect everybody. We don't select people to give them opportunities. Thank you.
Honorable nominee, the recent U.S. policy that has reduced visa validity for Ghanaian passport holders from 5 years to 3 months. Have you any view on this to share?
Thank you. I think I don't have the full details of, but what I know is that some Ghanaians were in the U.S. and they put the number around 21,000. I asked that question, was it for a short period or a prolonged period, who overstayed their time and did not abide by the rules of the immigration IRS. So for that reason, we fall into a category where even though we were reciprocating 5 years on both ends, it happened that because of that, they have restricted Ghanaians to 3 months. Now, it's not official. There's no official documentation from the State Department to Ghana. So, in practice, they are doing that, but until we receive official documentation, we cannot respond. So this is where the position of that is now. Thank you.
Let's talk about our sub-region.
Nominee, please keep your answers short.
Thank you.
You and Honorable Leader are sitting between us and lunch. Thank you.
Honorable nominee, let's look at the regional security and role in ECOWAS. Our region is facing challenges, terrorism, maritime piracy, political instability, and all of these threaten our regional development. You are going as a deputy minister. You've shared with us your years of experience in social service. How do you hope to leverage on your years of experience by way of assisting your minister to advance Ghana's security interests while maintaining regional leadership and promoting democratic governance?
Thank you. This is a very critical question and a critical area to deal with. So this response to your question will be policy-driven. So my answer will be that I will abide and work towards what the directives of the ministry is in support of my minister. Thank you.
Honorable nominee, as part of your job, you will be representing Ghana abroad to woo investors into our country. You have just talked about our own internal challenges. How do you hope to persuade an investor who is adamant to come here largely for the fear of losing his or her investment because of the problems you have already enumerated? For instance, a lot of Ghanaian businesses are often filled with fear when they see a change of government because they may get tagged in one way or the other. Such a question when an investor asks you this.
Thank you, Chair. I think the investors' confidence in, or to invest within the country is measured by the performance of the economy and what is happening. So if you have laid down the foundation, we have our CD gaining value, for instance, our external debt being addressed. They see confidence in the economy, I think will be the main characteristics for them to decide to invest or not to invest. So as a deputy assistant my minister, these are some of the areas we have to expose to the investor about how far or what achievements the economy and the government has come out. And also, I think gaining confidence, law and order, gaining confidence within the administration will be a very helpful factor. So we should be able to get members, investors who are willing to come in and be able to. For some information, I'm working on a few, even myself personally, to try to bring some investors into the country. Thank you.
We are landing now. Social intervention programs. Since Rawlins's time, this country, through its government, we initiate social intervention programs. In your own assessment, do you think some of these intervention programs that are intended to be investment go waste and it becomes a burden on the nation? And what very pragmatic steps do you think should be taken to address these? Because obviously these investors who have data about Ghana and have read about this will be concerned and would want to know, because this would affect their own investment.
Thank you. Social interventions are necessary for almost every society. But to the extent that it becomes the main source of support for communities or people in the country, it's difficult. What we need to do is to show that now we have the youth gaining employment. We have to show this is saying back to what I discussed before, that the economy should be growing. Once the economy is growing, more youth are at work, the demand on social intervention will reduce. And so for that matter, we will be able to divert the resources to a more gainful employment for the young people to be able to take care of themselves. Thank you.
You're going to be the foreign minister representing your country. Lapel pins, brooch for our women, which will have the Ghana flag, or will have our colors. And as for the lapel pin for the men, are you going to be an advocate for this as part of the Cell Ghana?
No doubt. Okay.
Would you want to be wearing one yourself?
If it suits my appearance, I'll do that.
You mean the lapel pin? Explain what you mean by if it suits your appearance.
No, you mentioned if I wear lapel pin, right?
Yes, the one with the Ghana flag or coat of arms.
I think it's again a personal discretion, and I will. I'm not. I'm not getting your. I'm not.
What I'm. Okay, let's go back. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Okay.
Relax. Relax. My first question is: would you want to encourage the wearing of the lapel pins that would have our coat of arms and also have our flag, red, gold, green? Would you encourage same as brooch for our ladies? Would you want to encourage the wearing of these as a diplomat? You're going to be a diplomat to sell our country Ghana.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll wear it. I'll wear, yeah. I mean, it's a symbol of the country, right?
It is so. So are you going to encourage it? I want to know from you whether you are going to manifestly promote it. That's what I mean.
I'm not able to give you a precise response to that, but I think it's left to individuals to.
So you think it's discretionary?
That's what I think. I think.
Very well.
You know,
I will not pursue. Now, our colors, the national flag, red, gold, green. So, as a deputy foreign minister, you have met the deputy foreign minister for South Korea International Conference. He asked you, Mr. Kwesi, I've seen your country's colors, red, gold, green. Each of the colors, it has a black star in the middle. Share with me the meaning of each of them. The red, what does it stand for? Yellow, gold, what does it stand for? Green, and the black star. Take your time and explain to this deputy foreign minister who would want to know from you as part of your Cell Ghana initiative.
the blood is the red is for the blood of our forefathers.
The gold or yellow? When we say red, gold, green, red, gold, green, red, gold, green, red, gold, green. Yes, gold, red.
Gold stands for gold. As you know, Ghana is enriched with gold, right?
Honorable member for Nungwa. Honorable member for Nungwa, my very good friend. Honorable member for Leisure Kuku. Hey, Nine Momo is Nungwa. I beg, I don't want to have trouble with it. Please, I've taken back my.
Taken back. Yeah.
No, not a question. The Nungwa, because honorable member for Krowo. Nungwa is Krowo, right? So Krowo. Which is Nungwa, is for our respected colleague, children and gender, Naimomo. I don't want to have problem with her. I am talking about Leisure Kuku. I'm saying that our colleague is on oath. Please allow him. He is a Pan-Africanist. He says so on record. So please, how about the green?
The forest. The vegetation. I mean, I thought you were just toying with my mind here because
no.
This is very fundamental.
No, don't take it easy.
Something I've learned from.
What about the Black Star?
The Black Star is the power of the black people, right? Black Star represent blacks, the strength of the black men. Yes.
Okay, let's deal with the coat of arms. The coat of arms. Because you are going to, Deputy Foreign Minister, wait,
yeah.
You are going to represent us. These are symbols that speak. These are things that people would anxiously ask. So the coat of arms, can you tell us all the things that you find on the coat of arms of Ghana? Share with us everything that you find on the coat of arms of Ghana.
I will beg the leave of that question because I don't have the immediate answer on me right now, so I would
Honorable nominee, this is a public interest question. We'll discuss our personal ones. Very well. Just to conclude, my last question. Can you share with us the national pledge? The pledge.
Yes, I can.
Please proceed. Please proceed to share with us the pledge.
You mean to recite it?
Rightly so, sir.
Honorable nominee, you can add that to the coat of arms and meet leader.
Thank you, Chair. I'm exhausted. So,
Chairman, that will be all for the nominee. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Honorable Minority.
I'm just going to conclude.
I'm actually not, I'll just ask you one question. And first of all, what I want to say, congratulations. And you and I, we have talked a lot, of course, because we share a similar history of having gone out for many years and coming back home to help. But we all saw what you went through, trials and tribulations. and how you were calm, dedicated to go through all that. Most admirably, showing up in this house every day to go to your office when you were prevented constitutionally to go into the chamber. All your sacrifice, your suffering, if I should say, has probably paid off in giving you an opportunity now. You're already serving your country, but to go another notch to give a much better service to your country. We pray for you, and we know that God will guide you to do that job. You are going with the minister, Honorable Blackwell. What I'm happy about is that he will be surrounded by you. Your background, your knowledge, your expertise, your experience that you have gathered over the years. And then, of course, with Honorable Van der Poy, who is the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee, the two of you around Honorable Ablakwa, I'm sure that will enhance your performance as a ministry at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The one question I want to ask you is that, and I picked that from a question leader asked you, that we have two types of diplomats. We have what is called a career diplomat, who is someone who is actually been trained as a diplomat. Some have gone to universities to study diplomacy and international relationship and all that. And we have political diplomats who are usually appointed by, president or government to go to a particular country or to be at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to steer the affairs of that government's agenda in promoting trade, that is trade diplomacy, economic trade and all that. Would you agree that these two types of diplomats all have a role to play in the world of diplomacy? Thank you.
I believe they both have the same responsibility, political or non-political. We represent in the country interest. So, yes, I agree.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Nominee. Congratulations. And you will hear from us. You are discharged. But before you do so, I want to acknowledge friends and family who came here basically to support you. And I have a list here that I'm trying to find to call out the names of the people that you have here, if I can find it. Has the form been given to me? Yeah, list of. Hold on a second. We'll find it, and then we will get you out of here. Yes, I have found it. So on the list here, forgive me if I miss your name, because I'm reading from the list I have here, and also if I mispronounce your name. So all of you, first of all, are acknowledged for coming here to support the nominee. Nana Koneji Ampao II, Chief of Asin and Wa. Nana Kobina Asari II, Sanahene of Asin Breku. Then Obahima Atiamwa, Queen Mother of Asin Breku.